Okay. Welcome, everyone. We are so glad that you're here. We're so excited about this. We've been planning this for a while, and tonight's the night. And we couldn't be more excited to have you all here. So if we could all start this night with taking a deep breath together, because it feels so good to deep breathe, right? So everyone take a deep breath, okay? That feels good to me. You guys feel good? It just like calms everything, right? Okay. So I don't believe in coincidences. I know that all of you are here tonight for a reason. There was a purpose to you clicking on the link to register for the call tonight, and I don't take that for granted. None of us do. I'm humbled and grateful that you're here. I see some of you that I've known since high school and before, some of you from doTERRA connections that I have, and other networks that I've been in over the years. It's just really neat to see so many of my friends and connections from so many stages of my life. So I thank you for coming. So the people that are interested in this program, the people that we talk to about this are generally people who value health and wellness. They're elite individuals who understand the importance of investing in themselves, who understand that it's okay to put themselves first. At least now, maybe if you didn't before, it is now, definitely, right? It's for people who are also interested in how their mind works, how to up-level their thinking, and understanding that just because you believe something now or believe something in the past doesn't have to dictate your future, and beliefs can change. It's for people who are actually committed to change and who embrace it. So I'm sure that is many of you, and that is why you were feeling the urge to come to this tonight. So welcome. Okay, so no more guesswork tonight, right? We're going to show you guys exactly how you can be certain to get the results that you want for your fitness. Okay. Before we go too much further, though, I want to encourage you to participate. Have you been on Zoom calls in the past where it's like nobody's doing anything? No, there's no participation, nobody's videos are on, and it's just kind of like crickets? That isn't going to be tonight. Tonight is going to be tons of fun, lots of interaction, because we are here to serve you. We want to know what you are here for to learn. We're going to answer your questions later in the webinar and have a special Q&A at the end for sure, but please put your questions in throughout. We want to start off tonight with this question. What is important to you about health and fitness? Go ahead and put it in the chat right now, okay? What is important to you about health and fitness? I gotta let someone in real quick. So while you're putting that in, I want to go over what you're going to learn tonight. Okay. You're going to, first of all, learn what's truly possible for you. The steps to change your body composition, we're going to go over that. How to get in shape at any age. Many of you know I'm 49. I'll be 50 later this year. And I just really got into this in the past year and a half. So it's never too late to start. It's never too late to decide, yeah, I actually do want to invest in my health. We're going to go over how fitness can become an easy way of life and how you can overcome the mental barriers that perhaps stopped you in the past and get the results that you want. The results that you've maybe wished that you could get in the past with other programs and it didn't happen. We're here to give you the tools, both mentally and physically, to get those results. Okay? All right, I'm loving the comments, by the way, in the chat. Thank you so much. Keep them coming if you haven't shared yet. Okay. All right, so tonight we have a couple of special guests and I will introduce them a little bit later. My husband, Marty, and JL. JL is a dear friend of ours. So you're going to get to know both of them later on. I'm going to start off tonight talking a little bit about my story and what got me into where I'm at. A lot of you are on here because you saw my posts, right? You saw my fitness pictures and you're like, what in the heck is she doing? And so I'm going to just talk about that for a little bit, okay? Many of you know that I'm a wife and a mother. I have 2 boys. Well, Marty and I both do. I hope add him in the equation. We have a couple of boys, Bowen and Winston, who are 6 and 12. And then little Stella, who is our angel daughter. She is our guardian angel and she's in heaven. So we have our 3 kiddos. And then I am also a business owner. I'm a wellness advocate with doTERRA. I'm a mental programming coach and a trainer. I've been doing that for the last 4 years. And I am really, truly a health and wellness enthusiast. Like, I love this stuff, you guys. I'm super passionate about it. So my story, and then I guess I'll introduce Marty too, and then you'll hear his story a little bit later. But Marty and I have been passionate about health and wellness together. We've had our highs and lows, like probably many of you have in your lives as well. But ultimately, it is an important thing to us. We do care about our health and our fitness, okay? He's actually been into it for, I tease him that he's a meathead, because in high school, he was like all into weightlifting, and he was like that guy. He was that guy in high school that loved to lift and, you know, flex with his friends. Anyway, it's great. So he's
still fun. Come on.
It's great. I love it. So anyway, he has been a contractor. That's been his main gig for many years until recently. The last few years, he's actually been able to work from home with me. And he has gone from building homes to building things digitally. He's gotten really good at creating landing pages and graphics and all the things. So when you enroll in our program and you see all of the cool stuff, that's all Marty. And I am so grateful for him, because without him, it would be really difficult to run the businesses that we have. So anyway, and he's also a mindset student. He came to one of my trainings and he learned this stuff as well, which I'm super grateful for. Okay, good. Just checking the waiting room. All right, so my story, guys. Working out's always been important to me, but I've had a few, I don't know, obstacles to getting the body that I wanted. As I got older, and especially after I had kids, I got softer and I wasn't as strong as I used to be, because I felt like I was a pretty athletic girl growing up. I loved to be outside and I was really active and things. And that just sort of slipped away a little bit over the years, especially as a mom. Time issues come into play sometimes. And that self-sacrificing, right? That sometimes becomes a badge of honor in our culture. And with being a mom, we put ourselves last. And it's not doing us any favors. When you look into the future, that matters. It matters what we do today if we want a future that we can thrive in, right? Anyway, so this is where I was at. I was like, okay, I like working out. I know what I should be eating, I think. And I did my best, you know. I generally went to classes because I liked it when people told me what to do and I didn't have to think about it. That was easier for me. But over the years, my clothes started getting a little tighter. I started wearing certain shirts to hide certain areas of my body. And I just wasn't feeling my best, you know? So I met JL through a mindset community, and through the same mindset community, we both are coaches in mental programming. And I knew that there was this push, not push, but like there was this happening in our community of people just really up-leveling their physical bodies. And it's a natural thing, because when you up-level your mind, you start to look at other areas of your life and you're like, where else can I up-level? And so it was natural for me to also want to do this. And so Luckily, JL is an expert and already had the know-how and the guidance and the programs to help me get to where I wanted to be. So I will get into that in just a minute. So does this sound familiar to any of you? Are any of these some obstacles that may have stopped you from getting the fitness and the help that you are looking for? I want you to put the number in the chat that resonates with you. So if it's time issues, put number 1, and it can be more than 1. You can put more than 1 number, okay? If you're unsure of how to use gym equipment, put number 2. If you've been on lots of diets, nothing is stuck, put number 3, okay? So read through that list and then share with us in the chat some of the things that have been maybe keeping you stuck. And I can relate to a lot of them as well, trust me. I've been there. Oh, sorry, I got someone in the waiting room. Hold on, guys. All right, so what changed for me was this mental programming stuff. Some of you that know me know how passionate I am about this. Like, I dove in head first for like 2 years. And in 1 year, I was certified as a coach. And then I went to Australia and became a trainer of this stuff. It was a 3-week course. It was intense. And this is me receiving my graduation plaque. I passed. And Marty was a superstar because he let me go, right? I left him home with the kids and I took off halfway across the world. That's how important this stuff was to me, because it was life-changing. I had been in the personal development world for many, many years. So I did have an understanding of how important it was that we had positive thoughts and that we, create vision boards and dream big and all that. But yet I still wasn't really seeing the shift in my life that I was looking for until I got into this mental programming stuff. Then I was given the how, because that's what was missing with all of my other, with all the other personal development stuff I had done, reading books, talking to mentors. I've been coached. I'd gone to trainings, tons of trainings, and there was good stuff all over, truly, because truth is truth, There was just another level when I got into this mental programming stuff that really shifted my life in all areas. My communication became much better with my husband, and my parenting became much more intentional and better with my kids. And most importantly, the relationship I had with myself changed. And that's so important. It's okay to put yourself first. Okay. So I've been coaching people now for 4 years. And this sweet gal is someone I've been coaching with. I'm actually coaching her right now. And she knew I had this thing coming up and she offered to give me a testimonial. She's like, do you want me to share? I was like, yeah, if you're willing. So this is her testimonial that she sent me. She's so awesome. It's Annalise, and she's in Texas. And she said, I have worked with Kendra for over a month and have noticed a huge shift in my mindset and life. She has helped me change many beliefs about myself that have been holding me back. And I find myself making great progress on my goals. Her coaching is very effective, easy to implement, and so much fun. If you are ready to take your life to the next level, I definitely recommend working with Kendra. This was really kind of her. Truly, you guys, the mindset part of this program that we're talking with you about tonight is what differentiates us from all the other programs. If your mind is right and your mind is working with you and you know what that looks like and what to do to change it, then you'll be unstoppable, truly. And whatever you can dream, you can achieve. When I was going through my training, one of the first things that I did was work with my son, Bowen. He was 8 at the time. And he had this irrational fear of getting his nails clipped. We're talking tears. It was insane. And I didn't know what to do about it. And this had gone on at this point for like 4 or 5 years. And within a few minutes, I was able to help him get over that fear. And it hasn't been an issue since. And with other clients I've helped them get over habits that were not serving them, addictions that they were told, you know, you're just gonna have to manage it. And now it's a non-issue. There's just been so many sweet moments, special moments that I've had with clients as I've coached them that leads me to believe that more and more people need what we have. And this is such a beautiful integration because people also want to be fit. And when you look good, you feel good. When you're doing things for your body, it's going to change your mental state too. So it all works together beautifully. Okay. So this is me, guys, right before the program, like literally 2 weeks before I started working with JL. Marty and I were in Belize and on a humanitarian trip, and I was feeling very fluffy. It was not a happy feeling. I got that picture back in my swimsuit and I'm like, really? Oh man. And so I just, yeah, it wasn't my best moment. Luckily, I had talked to JL literally right before this happened. So you guys, I met JL, like I told you, in this mindset community, like a couple years. Now it's been like 3 years ago. And I met him on a virtual training. I had no idea he actually lives in my same town until I saw him at our gym, our local gym. And we're like, oh my gosh, what the heck? And we started talking about our mental programming stuff and how much it had changed our lives and how much we loved it. And like and Marty knows, like if JL and I get going on that, like sometimes we don't stop. So anyway, we became really good friends. And then it wasn't until last January when we were both at an in-person training where I actually asked him, well, actually it came up. I don't remember how it came up, but it came up. What was interesting though, was I manifested it because no one knew that in my heart, I really wanted one of these programs. Like I'm watching all these other people in our community getting all fit and lean. And I'm like, I want to do that. I want to do that. And I had not verbalized it, but I really wanted it in my heart. And then we're at this training and JL and I start talking and I'm like, this is it. This is it. And so we started working together and Marty was totally on board, happily. That works so much better when your spouse is on board, can I just say? And so we started right after that trip in Belize. We were leaving like right the next week. We came home from Belize. We got on the program and within a week, we both felt major shifts in our body. And we're like, this is amazing. And we loved how easy it was as well. It was so simple, so straightforward and easy to follow. All right. So without further ado, I am going to introduce to you JL. JL is amazing. He's a husband and father of 7 kids, you guys. Yes, he's like super dad. He is a fitness expert and trainer. He's been doing this for decades. He loves it with a passion, and he's got multiple certifications that qualifies him for what he does. He's a nutrition coach. He's an entrepreneur. He's an owner of multiple successful businesses. He's a mental programming coach like I am. And he's also a personal development guru. Between JL, myself, and Marty, we have spent well over, I should say invested well over $100,000 because that's how cool this mind stuff is. And we're here to share with you guys the best nuggets that are going to make the biggest difference and make the greatest impact in your life. So we're excited. All right, we're going to have Marty kind of interview JL and so you guys can get to know him better.
All right, guys, excited to introduce JL. If you guys have questions outside of some of the earlier questions that you may have had, write them in the chat. And so when we have JL on the spot here, we'll see if we can get him to answer a few of these questions for us. We do have some frequently asked questions that I want to go through with JL as well. But the first questions I want to chat with him about are, JL, welcome, by the way. We're glad you're here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Kendra. Thanks for your nice introduction. That's so nice of you. You're so kind. Let's do this.
It's all true. All true.
Well, thank you. Let's do this.
I know everyone's curious to hear about your background and how you got into fitness. Can you tell us just a bit about that?
So yes, I'd be happy to. I am similar to Marty in that I really liked lifting weights in high school. It was a confidence builder for me. It helped me in my athletic performance. It just gave me this unsaid confidence, and I really, really liked it. And I continued to do it as I got older. And the natural progression of it was I ended up being a trainer because I thought, I'm here at the gym. They should pay me to be here. Yep, I'm doing that. So I got some certifications, started training clients, put myself through school in training clients. But I started to notice that the people that I was training like had their own businesses and they had more money than I did. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing something wrong. I got to like maybe start some businesses. And so then I got bit by an entrepreneurial bug, did some training in that world, but then in doing the entrepreneurial stuff, kid 1 came, kid 2 came, kid 3 came. I started to get fat and I was like, all right, time out. Like maybe I got to get back to the basics of stuff. And so I've just been helping people with fitness on the side for, like they said, for years, for a long, long time while running my other businesses. But now I'm in a season of life that I've got more time to dedicate to helping people reinstall that confidence that we all naturally come with. And fitness and mental programming is the modality I want to play in and do. So in addition to my other businesses, but that's my background. And like Kendra said, I have 7 kids. So I coach a lot and I'm very busy, but yeah.
So JL, what actually kind of personal training, what different kinds of personal training have you done?
So I have coached trained CEOs, attorneys, but my like bread and butter, weirdly enough, is moms. Like I worked with a lot of moms. And so, and some of that is just probably because I have a wife and I had a mom and I'm not a girl, but I understand a little bit. So, and the science is science. And so I can relate to moms really well for some reason and their husbands if they're cool like Marty. But
there you go. Thanks. So with all of this, I'm just going to watch the chat. Kendra, you may have to check on that with me. What results have you seen people achieve?
I've seen incredible results. Incredible, like miraculous, like things that you would never imagine, from as little as somebody that comes into the gym and can't walk up the stairs to by the time we're done working together, they're going up the stairs, no problem. To the mom who just has lost her confidence and kind of worn that badge of honor of I'm lost in my kids, to all of a sudden she now values herself again and has abs. Like it really just depends on what the goals are. If we know what the goals are, we can achieve them. If we can work together and lay out a plan, the results are whatever you want them to be.
Cool. So what motivates you to do this, JL?
I like the idea, and the idea is probably the wrong word. I love to see the confidence reinstalled in people as they start to do things they didn't believe they could do. I love for them to come and say, I'm wearing this. I haven't worn this shirt in like 10 years. Like my pants fell off. I got to go get new pants. You're like, that's amazing. Like I love seeing the confidence reinstalled in people as they change their body and change their mind.
Great. Thank you for sharing. That's great. So we wanted to get into a few basics for those of us on the call. Maybe there's different levels, some of us are experienced and some aren't. I thought I was pretty experienced before I started working with JL. And I realized fast that there was a lot to learn. And the results that I saw through training with JL were incredible. And it was quick. There was a shift that happened really fast. So let me share my screen. I'm going to pull up another slide here, and we're going to talk about the 5 core steps of changing our body composition. Jayo, would you mind just going into and touching a little bit on each one of these categories?
Absolutely. I'm happy to.
All right, cool.
So I don't know how many of you have heard the idea that abs, and I'm not saying we all have to have abs. I'm saying if we want abs, you can have them. Doesn't matter how old you are. They're actually in there. But abs are made in the kitchen. They're not made in the gym. They're built in the kitchen. So nutrition, when it comes to changing your body composition, is incredibly important. And it's not just eat less, move more. That's a very common misconception inside of the fitness world. It's what we're eating. What we're eating is super important based on macros, meaning proteins, fats, carbs, how many calories based off of your age. That's a super important part of it. And part of what we do is we remove the guesswork. We can say, this is exactly what you need to do based off of your age, based off of your hormones, the levels that you're at. This is what's important and the results you're going to get. So nutrition is number one for sure. Resistance training is where it all started for me. That's the meathead side of me, just lifting weights. And there's the reason that is so important is one, when you feel strong, your confidence goes up. But two, it's incredible for your body composition to change because you've stripped away all the fat by properly eating. Now let's have something to show for it. Let's have some muscles that we've actually built up and made stronger so they're visible and you can see them, you can feel them. It's resistance training is huge. And when you feel strong, again, your confidence is high. And I'm a big believer in confidence. So that's number two. Number three is, go ahead.
For women, especially, resistance training is so important because it makes your bones stronger.
Yep.
It helps you through those later years have the bone density to keep you strong and healthy.
100%.
So and it's a dopamine dump.
It is a huge dopamine dump. So I actually have a lady who's very close to me that she is falling apart at the seams because all she's ever done is diet, starve herself, gain the weight back, diet, starve herself. And then I'm going to go for a walk around the block, which is a good thing. It's number 3 on the list. You got to take a walk and you got to move. But she has not lifted weights. So her ligaments are not strong. Her bones are cracking. And it's just a natural progression of aging unless you take the steps like resistance training to combat it. So I agree with Kendra 100%. So number 3 is the body movement, going for a walk. There's a weird misconception that you just have to run or be on the Stairmaster or ride your bike, and that's how you lose weight, hop on the Peloton. There's a weird idea that that's the way to do it. But that's a way to make yourself really, really hungry because you're burning a ton of calories. Cardio is cool, but it's not it. It's just a part of the equation, a tiny part. So with that, rest is super important. And I'm going to illustrate kind of why cardio is not as important as it's being led to believe it is, especially for women, with a little story about rest and cardio together. So here's what I mean by that. I have a client who is in her mid-20s, actually, and she got in her mind that it was crucial for her to do hours of cardio a day. And this was before she started working with me. And she would spend about 2.5 to 3.5 hours a day on the treadmill and the Stairmaster. And she'd break it up in sessions. So she'd go first thing in the morning before work, then she'd go at lunch, and then she'd go at night. Whatever she was doing was not working because she was gaining weight. And that's why she sought me out. And she asked me a few questions. And so I just asked, well, how much sleep are you getting? Well, I go to bed at midnight, and then I'm up at 4 so I can go do cardio. So 4 hours a night, it's not great. And then how much cardio are you doing? Oh, I do these 3 sessions about an hour a time. Okay, that's probably not great. How many calories are you eating? Oh, about 1,200. Okay, so you're kind of just putting your body in like, I'm dying mode. So your body's just holding on to everything that it can. So we wrote out a new protocol for her, and we said, okay, listen, 1, you can only do a half hour of cardio a day. You're free to choose, but what you've been doing is clearly not working. So maybe let's try this approach. So a half hour of cardio a day. I need you to bump your calories up a little bit more, and then get a minimum of 7 hours of sleep. That's it. Just a minimum of 7 hours of sleep a night. After the first week of the new protocol, she lost 9 pounds. And then has slowly been going down. Her weight's been trending since. Rest is so important. So important. And then the last component is hydration. Hydration is vital because your body is 70% water, right? So, and it doesn't mean that you need to be drinking gallons of water a day. A good rule of thumb is drink half of your body weight in ounces a day. So if you weigh 150 pounds, get a minimum of 75 ounces of water a day. Or non-caloric, because I don't love Diet Coke. My wife does, but I love Diet Pepsi, and I drink it and I like it. Non-caloric water or non-caloric liquid a day. So that said, make sure you're staying hydrated, because it keeps the lactic acid that you're building up in your resistance training moving. It keeps the food digesting and processing that you're eating quicker and better. It's very important. So those are the 5, a brief overview steps. And with our clients, we usually dive into more in depth on those things. But for this environment and for everybody's time, that's the main 5 things.
Cool. Okay, so I've seen a couple of questions come in the chat. We'll keep watching those. Here's some frequently asked questions that I think a lot of people, especially as you're getting older, you wonder, am I too old to get in shape and change my body composition? Maybe you can actually go through these for us real quick, JL, and then if you have another burning question, yeah, we have one here about dopamine. Anyway, we'll probably answer a few of those. Kendra, are you writing notes on some of these questions? And I think we'll answer these towards the end with JL. If that sounds okay. We'll have.
I've got my eye on the chat. We'll just go back to the chat during the Q&A.
Okay,
I love
sounds good. We don't want to leave you guys hanging, but we'll just kind of wait to answer some of these specifically at the end. All right, JL, I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, cool. So frequently asked questions. You guys will learn this about me if you hang out and with me a little bit. I'm kind of a smart aleck, not on purpose, just my nature. So with that, am I ever too old to change my body composition? As long as you're still breathing, you're never too old. Like if you're still alive, you're never too old. Your body can change. He's my uncle. He's very near and dear to me, and I love him a ton. But at 78, we got him to lose. He went down. At 78, we got him to lose 90 pounds. And with that, he's lifting. He's doing a little bit of exercise bike, but as he's lifting, his body he's getting stronger. And so one of his favorite things to do is to call me and say, so JL stands for James Leo. He calls me James Leo. James Leo, I was going and I reached down, I felt my leg, and there's a muscle. I can feel that muscle. He's almost 80 now. And his body is continually improving. Your body's built to do it. So no, never too old. Then, do I have to give up sugar of my favorite food? No, I had cheesecake last night. Like you've got to do what you can adhere to. And if you can adhere to never eating sugar ever again, then sure, you're more than welcome to give it up. But if you like sugar, eat it. Just do it inside of the parameters that are set up. And that's part of what the program is, and what made it so easy for Kendra is we set up parameters, and we set up the idea of here's what's acceptable for your body to get the changes that you want. Let's just do what's acceptable. It's super simple. Okay, can I eat at night? Absolutely. Eat whenever you want. Again, just stay inside of the parameters. Will I get bulky if I lift weights? Nope. It takes a lot of food and a lot of weightlifting to get bulky. A lot. Can you get bulky by eating too much? Yes, 100%. So again, we help dial that in to make sure that the ratios are exactly what they need to be for your body to get the results you want.
Okay.
Any other questions so far?
Yeah, there are some questions in here.
Okay.
When is about barriers to menopause, insulin resistance, if that even matters, and diet, lifestyle, and how to work with injuries and muscle tightness in issues. So there's kind of a lot there.
That's a lot there. Is that all one question?
Yes, that's all one question.
Who
It's all
asked?
from one person.
If we could, okay, that's a great question. Okay, menopause, I'm not a girl, actually, so I don't know very well, but what I do know is the science is the science. So if we create a caloric deficit, meaning if you're burning more than you're eating, your body is going to change. Could there be some resistance from insulin? Could there be some resistance from menopause? Yes, but we can navigate around those things. That's why we have the accountability and the weekly check-ins in our program, so that we can look at the numbers, we can look at the data each week and say, okay, this is working, let's leave it, it's working. Or, okay, this isn't working, let's pivot and do something a little different. So, but yes, there are ways around that. Muscle tightness, right out the gates when you start lifting weights, it's going to increase just a tiny bit. But as you continue to persist in resistance training, the muscle tightness actually kind of takes care of itself. And there are some stretches and there's foam rolling and there's a handful of things you can do to help with that. But as you start moving your body, weirdly enough, it starts loosening up.
Okay, and she also asked about working with injuries.
Yes, we can work around injuries if everybody's safe and healthy, hopefully, and we're all good. If there's something that needs to be addressed head on, we'll face it head on and we'll work through it.
Yeah. Good. Okay, another one. How to combat low attention spans, motivation to continue after initial dopamine wears off. She says, I can work all day long, but working out turns me into a wimp.
Wow. Okay. There's so many things in there. That's loaded.
Right? I know.
That's like,
These aren't your average simple questions, huh, JL?
yeah, I appreciate the candor. This is great. One of the coolest things about this program and what Kendra does and what I do with the mental programming is things need to change at an identity level and they need to change at a value level. And that's like a whole can of worms that can be opened on another day. But once you value working out, okay, let me say it a different way. What you value will get your attention. And so as we create the value behind working out, eating properly, being a fit individual, strong and safe and confident, your attention will naturally flow towards those things. That's a very broad answer, but does that make sense? So, but that's an easy thing to overcome. That's probably what I should have said. That's easy. We can plow through that, no problem. We'll get your attention where it needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, one more. I don't need to lose weight, but gain muscle without causing more back injuries.
That actually sounds very similar to the young lady's speaking story to you, Sister Kendra.
Yeah.
You didn't need to lose weight. You just gained a bunch of muscle.
Mm-hmm.
You had some back pain. The mental programming helped with that.
Yeah, actually, that was an interesting part of my journey too that I didn't share with you guys, but I had a back injury and I went to one of those trainings and I got rid of it within 20 minutes with some of the mental programming stuff that I had learned with releasing some stuff. So what JL and I are trying to say tonight to you about the mental programming stuff is that it does begin there. Your beliefs will dictate your behavior and your beliefs can change. And that's what we're going to show you how to do in the coaching and their weekly coaching group sessions. So, awesome. Okay.
Yep.
If that's all the questions I see, if you guys have any more, put them in there really quick and we'll look again at the end. Okay. So
for the sake of time, I think can we transition into how we combine the two modalities of the fitness and the mental programming into what we have created called Ascend Fitness.
Yeah.
Who wants to take, JL, do you want to, you kind of have the floor. We'll let you keep
Go
going.
ahead.
Okay, cool. So here is, again, the whole reason we created this program is because it works. The mental programming had such a massive impact on my life, in addition to the fitness that has always been a part of my life since I was a teenager. And then we've seen it work too many times to question that it's viability. It's a real thing. And so we wanted to take this to as many people as we possibly could to give them the opportunity to really lean into who they are meant to be, which is the best possible version of themselves. And so we have found in a fitness aspect, by getting customized nutrition for the individual and their needs, building workouts that work around injuries, work around the different things that like back pain and all of that stuff. I've had a client with vertigo, actually, help her work around those, like working with people to get personalized workouts in hand with customized nutrition, then going through the mental coaching, and then having the accountability and support of the community and the coaches and weekly check-ins. It works all the time, 100% of the time, if the client wants it. And so it probably actually goes to what the next idea behind this of who this is for and who it's not, right? Is that what the next one is, Marty?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Weird. Okay. So this program is not for somebody who thinks that they've tried everything and nothing works for them. Because I promise if you adhere to this program, it will work. I've seen it work too many times. And not even in my program. I have a lot of buddies who are very deeply into the fitness industry still and have been, and we all use the same program and it works every single time. So it's not for somebody who thinks they've tried everything and nothing works for them. This is not for you. It is not for people who are just interested in changing their life. We need people who are fully committed. That is who this is for, someone who is committed to do what it takes. It's not for someone who's not willing to invest in themselves. And I'm not speaking just money. I'm speaking time, energy, belief, focus. You've got to invest those things in yourself. You do that, again, I promise it will work. It's the coolest thing ever. So, and then actually, if we go to the next slide and say who it actually is for, I'm pretty sure it's for you guys who are on the call. So we probably should just do it. And just kidding. You guys obviously make your decision based off of what you've heard and what your goals are, but it is for people who want the easiest, simplest path to their success. Like it takes what it takes and that's it. So it doesn't require hours of working out every single day. It doesn't require starving yourself and only eating cabbage. It doesn't require any of that stuff. It just takes what it takes. And again, we customize it to you. So you're getting the nutritional needs you have. You're working with the ability that your body has as far as resistance training is concerned. You're moving your body what's required, and you're being held accountable in a loving, kind way. We will push and we will poke and we will prod, but we'll do it with respect and love. Because at the end of the day, if you're coming into our world, we want you to get the most out of it, is the bottom line. So I'm going to turn it back over to Kendra, because I don't know if you guys know, but that's Kendra. She's pretty jacked. So she can kind of tell you what her experience has been with the program.
Yeah, you guys, it was so fun, honestly. And I never thought I would say that about getting into shape. Yet it really was. And you know what helped me, again, going back to understanding my mind, was having a really clear goal, right? I knew I wanted to do a fitness shoot. And when you have a deadline and you have a goal that's really clear like that, and I had imagined all the details and I had put together what outfits I was going to wear for like weeks before it happened, right? When you know that's coming and you're going to have pictures to show what you did, like it's a very compelling motivation to do it. And so it's important to have a goal. And if you're not sure what that is, create it. If it's a trip that you're going on and you want to lose a few pounds before the trip, great. If you don't have a trip, maybe create a trip, get a trip on the books so that you have a deadline, a goal, right? So that was super helpful for me. And then as I did the program and I did the weightlifting, the workouts were actually really fun. I liked the variety of them. And I no longer had to depend on another person teaching a class, because I could just have the workout on my app and I would go whenever I wanted. And there was help on the app to show me what to do. So it was really nice. It was very flexible. I loved that about it. Also the nutrition part. You guys, even the other day I told Marty, sugar makes me happy. It just does. And if I had to go through life and never eat a cookie again, I would be sad. And so I love that I can still eat whatever I want. I just now have an understanding of what's actually in my food. And I'm more aware of what I'm eating. And that makes all the difference. I didn't feel restricted. I felt in control. And there is a difference. So I loved it. And I felt so happy inside. Like whenever I get on the scale and I was a little closer to my goal and I could see the difference in the mirror, I was like, oh my gosh, this is working. This is working. And so that kept me going too, right? You guys know that feeling. You've experienced it before. Maybe maybe it was a day that you were in your wedding dress and you felt so beautiful and so excited and happy about what you look like. And that's a good thing. I felt that kind of happiness where I'm like, and I'm not saying it's going to be exactly that, it's just a really, really good feeling to feel confident in who you are. And that's what you're going to feel when you go through our program.
100%.
You can see the difference though, right, guys? That is a 20-pound difference, actually. Even though I didn't think I wanted to lose weight, I just wanted to tone up. There is a thing called, leaning out and then going reverse dieting and adding the muscle. So I've actually put on quite a bit of muscle as well.
And that's a big, so sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
Is
that is a big part of the program, actually, is there are a lot of programs that will get you there. And you guys have seen these people, and this will not be you. Obviously, you guys will do it right. You've seen people lose a ton of weight. They look really good. And then you see them 6 months later and you're like, yo, dude, what just happened to you? Like, you're like, everything came back. And that's okay. But it's a thing of the past, meaning we'll get you to your goal. You guys will do the work. We'll provide the layout. We'll get you where you want to go. And then we'll help you reverse diet out of it. And I know diet is kind of a silly word, but we'll basically start refeeding the muscles and doing it so that there's not a drastic peaks and valleys. It's just a rolling hills of progress. Does that make sense? So it's actually really, really cool. And we help with all of that. So, because we have two options. There's a 6-month option and there's a year option. And that's kind of the cool thing. Oh, Marty, I'm so sorry. I got excited. Marty, tell them about you.
It's all right. I really wanted to show these pictures.
I get it.
Get kind of vulnerable here, guys. So I wanted to just share and illustrate about my experience in the program briefly. I know we're running kind of, your time is precious to us and we don't want this to go too long. I started the program back in February, but I do not have my earlier pictures. So I'm down probably 5 pounds here in this first picture. And then in July, I had a really good farmer's tan there. But it was incredible for me. The change in the program, the workouts were great. I loved the app. It was so easy to use. The nutrition was great. Some of these things I was used to in my earlier life of working out and things, but I kind of lost touch with some of that. And maybe some of you feel the same way, that, maybe at one time in your life you were a certain way and then you kind of have lost touch with that. And I had to reconnect with things I already knew, and I learned things that I didn't know. And so I was able to do this program, and it was easy. Like I went through, it was easy. And within a couple of weeks, the results were so drastic that actually I was pushing myself hard because I was excited. Like, this was the first time in 10 years that I had really made any changes. So what I love about this picture, this means a lot to me. The picture on the left is about halfway through the program. So, well, this was in July, right? Our family reunion, or
June, year ago.
Yeah. And so this is about 6 months before Kendra's photo shoot. I was already down, 15 pounds by this time, and I felt good. I liked seeing myself. I got these pictures back and I go, wow, I look like that. Before I remember wearing that same shirt and feeling sloppy in it, and it was a little tight and my stomach was, and now I feel more comfortable in clothing and getting my picture taken, or doing a selfie with Kendra. That may sound funny, but in the past, I've kind of shied away from some of that because of my physical outlook. Now, this picture on the right was in January. We were at church together, and I had not worn this suit in 10 years, you guys. This was actually a suit that I wore at Stella's funeral. When we had her graveside service and burial, I wore this suit. And after that time, I don't know if Kendra had talked about this. We planned to talk about this a little bit. I started putting on weight after we lost our baby. And there was some emotional stuff going on, and I had to learn to overcome it. And with mental programming and this program, I've been able to figure it out. And so for me, this means a lot. This suit, being in that picture, I can wear that now, and it feels comfortable. And it was a new suit, so it was kind of a shame that I couldn't wear it for so long. But anyway, okay, Jill, I'm going to turn the time back over to you. We do have another, I don't know if Rianne's on this call or not.
He's not on it.
For the sake of time, I think we'll just bypass this. This is another person that Kendra has been working with that has a great story. And I'm sure you'll hear about her in the future. But
Well, she worked with JL and that testimonial is about her before and after with the coaching, because she had done the physical program with JL, and then she did coaching with me, and then she's back to doing the physical stuff again with JL, and with the mental programming that she got in between. It's made a massive difference for her to actually achieve the results that she wants and stay and sustain it. So that's what it's about.
Cool.
Love
So
it.
I think let's take some time and answer a few questions. I know there's a couple in the chat, but some of you, if you want to unmute yourself, and if it's easier to just talk, we can do that too.
Can we answer the nutrition planning on the 18-hour fast real fast?
Yes, please.
Okay. So intermittent fasting I'm assuming that's what you're doing, but I could be wrong. Okay, is that what you're doing? Are you comfortable at answering that? Whoever wrote that.
It says iPhone, so I'm not sure who that is.
Who's our iPhone buddy?
iPhone, what's your name?
Yes.
All good. So,
Oh, Stephanie. Hi, Steph.
Steph, hi, buddy. Okay, so yes, if that's what you're comfortable with. Again, going back to the idea of, do I have to give up sugar? No. And if you want to fast, cool, we can fast. Like, we can get your food that you need in order to change your body in that 6 hours. We just maybe need to be creative, and that's 100% okay. So I like it. But Stephanie, I do want you to go to the gym when you're ready, because it's so cool.
Yeah, it is.
Sarah asked, do you have to own your own exercise equipment?
I know. You can, if you want to, you're more than welcome to. But a gym's great. And that's part of customizing the workouts to you. We'll understand what you have, and we'll build a workout around you. So we prefer, and you're going to get the most bang for your buck the fastest if you've got access to a full gym for sure. But we can navigate around what you have available to you.
Yeah. Okay. Any others? Stephanie, I'd really love to eat a little more.
You too, Stephanie, I got you. We got we got to figure out what you're eating.
I know how you feel. I've been there.
Yeah.
Hey, JL, tell her about that client that just reached out to you a couple weeks ago that was overtraining and under eating too few calories.
Yeah, it's the lady that I was telling you guys that was doing 3 hours of cardio a day. So we bumped up her calories by about 400 calories a day. And she started losing weight. So it really, the body is an incredible thing. If the body feels safe and your mind feels safe, it's going to start to perform the way that it's intended to. And so if it's feeling starved, it obviously doesn't feel safe. And it might be resisting against what you're trying to accomplish. And again, we dive into this kind of stuff on the program, and it's cool. You'll love it.
Yeah, you will love it, guys. It's so
It's
simple.
easy.
So
Anyone
doable.
else?
Okay. Any other? Oh, how much is this? Who's asking about the price? Wendy. Fine, I'll tell you. It's fine.
All right, that was just on the tip of his tongue, right?
All right. So typically, these prices are not reflective of what it usually is. Meaning, when I've been just working with clients one-on-one, because, and I'm trying to say this so that it's not doesn't sound mean. I have 100 irons in the fire all the time. So I usually charge at least $6,000 for 6 months. And then if they want a year, I'll bump it up to 7, just for the personal training and for the workouts and the apps. That we're not going to charge that here. That doesn't include the mental coaching. That doesn't include the community, doesn't include any of that stuff. That's just for me to say, here are your macros, here's your workouts, check in with me every week and we'll watch your progress. But because I love Kendra so much and I love Marty so much, and if you're connected to them, you're probably great people as well. And we're launching Full Ascend Fitness. We're doing super special pricing that will change for sure. But as for right now, for 6 months, it's only $3,000. Now, the cool thing about it is if you want to go the entire year, it's only going to be $4,000. So you get that extra 6 months for $1,000. But you're also getting the app, you're getting the customized workouts, the macros, the community, the coaching, the weekly check-ins. We have a plethora of resources that will be just dumped in your lap as part of it. But the biggest thing is, and the reason we have the price point at where it is people tend to pay attention to what they pay for. And so if you're investing in yourself, you're going to pay attention to what we're asking you to do. And people also tend to take care of what they invest in. So we want you to invest in yourself. And we thought that these price points are enough that it'll get someone's attention. Any questions so far?
Melissa put a nice testimonial in the chat. She said, not a question, but more of a testimonial. I am in this mental programming world that Kendra and I'm sure JL are a part of. I personally know what they are saying, but the mind is truth. Both Kendra and JL are amazing. Thank you, Melissa.
That is so nice of you.
Yeah.
You don't have to decide right now from the chat. There are payment plans, as you guys can see. It just bumps up the price a tiny bit. So you can do $1,100 a month, and that'll pay it up. You do not have to decide right now.
Yeah, you've got time.
Yeah.
Like JL said, the prices will be going up in the future, but right now we're going to keep the launch price where it's at for you guys to talk with us and make a decision. We would love to have a chat. I'm sure Kendra would love to set up a call with any of you. Yeah, Kendra.
Did you mention the spouses are 50% off? I was looking at the chat.
So if you want to do this with your spouse, basically the first account is full price, and then the spouse gets 50% off either program.
Correct. So by now, you guys have the information that you're going to need to make a decision. And again, we're not saying you have to make a decision now. Once you make a decision, there's a ton of momentum that you'll find really fast, because we actually want to get the ball going and the program started by Monday so that you're well into the summer. We're going to do our first coaching call next Wednesday. So we want to get the ball moving fairly quickly. I'll say that. But again, you don't have to make a decision now. Just when you're ready.
But for anyone that does want to get started now, you can scan the QR code and look at the 2 plan options. Once you do get registered, we'll send you an email so you can access an onboarding page that I've created, and it will go through step by step. We actually have to put the video on there tomorrow. So there's still a couple of things. Speaking of irons in the fire, the JL, I've got a couple of, those two. We just getting this launch ready has been really busy for us. So I'm trying to get links to everything that we have on the checkout pages. So if you go there now and there's something that's not working, be patient. In 24 hours, everything will be working. So yeah, you can visit the site. We'll be sending you an email with the recording of this if anybody wants to watch this again. So you'll have this information, and you've all got the emails from us and the texts. So we can follow up and you guys can get in touch with us as well.
Awesome. Oh, there's it.
You're welcome, Wendy. We're so glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you. It's been great to listen to all this. And I want to talk to you too, Kendra, maybe not at this meeting, but about what you're doing. Because I think for me, I need that more before I commit to the fitness part. Because I think I'm somewhere mentally, I am stuck.
Okay, yeah, we can totally talk. I'm happy to.
So
You guys put a 1 in the chat if you would like us or Kendra specifically to follow up with you. Put a 10 in the chat if you're interested in the program. Or maybe just a 1 in the chat if you're interested in getting a call back or something to follow up.
Okay.
Cool. We still have quite a few people on here. Any other questions that we can answer?
Ellie has a question in the chat, JL. Do you start with 40, 30, 30 macros or consider different starting points for everyone?
Oh, Allie, I feel like you've been around this game before. No. So we'll talk, we'll chat, and we'll decide on what your goals are. So it's customized to you. It can be that. Allie, I feel like this is a trap. And you have RN next. I like
Yeah.
Allie and I have been friends since middle school. She's one of my dearest friends.
that, Allie. It's not a trap. Lies. Okay, cool. No, it can be that, but it kind of depends on what your goals. We can adjust accordingly.
Yeah. And if you guys haven't already noticed, JL is a blast to work with. Like every time I talk to him, I laugh. He's so fun. And he's so passionate about this. You can tell, right? Like you feel it. He just knows his stuff and he's like direct. I love that. I love it. Anyway.
I'm a smart aleck.
Smart aleck, but it's great. I grew up with 6 brothers, so it's like no big deal to me. Oh, Allie's got another good question. Is the workout app your own or do you use another one?
All right, Allie. All these questions, you probably should show your face. Where are you? No, is she on here? Where is she at?
Yeah, she's here.
There she is. Hi, Allie. So we use the Trainerize app. That's what we use. Have you ever heard of Trainerize?
You're on mute, Al.
How do we unmute her?
Okay, sorry.
Oh, great.
I tried lifting Lindsay. I think she's a Utah girl, but I felt like I couldn't ever really figure out that app. So literally I had it for a month and then canceled because it was too tricky.
Okay.
So I need this to be simple.
It truly is so simple. And if you have questions, Kendra obviously can help you navigate through it. I'll help you navigate through it. Marty's used the app. It's so simple. It literally is, okay, here's your workout. And it has a training video that shows you how to do the movement properly. And then it says, here is your suggested rep range, like 8 to 10 or 15 to 20, whatever it may be. And then you just put in your weight that you lifted and how many reps you did, hit save. Simple.
Okay.
It's so simple.
Super easy.
Yeah.
It's nice because you get to see how much stronger you're getting each time you work out. You see the previous week and it's like, oh, I did that, so I'm going to try to beat my previous thing, right? And so you're getting stronger and you're seeing the changes, and we love that app. I went away from the app. I didn't have workouts for a little bit after I kind of finished my program, and I went away from that and just kind of did the things that I used to know, and I wasn't getting very good workouts.
Stalled.
So, yeah, I did. So I'm like, JL, you got to build me some more workouts in this app so I can get back after it. And yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I loved it.
It makes a huge difference. It makes all the difference in the training, you guys.
Can I just say, like, one of my favorite moments was when I did my first hanging leg lift. Do you guys know what that is? You're hanging from a bar and your feet go up to the bar. And the first time that was in my workouts to do it, I couldn't even lift my feet like halfway up. It was it was like the shock because I thought I was stronger than that. You know what I mean? Because it looks so easy. And I watched this girl in the gym doing them like over and over. And I just would be like, she's amazing. I can't believe her. And yeah, she's also like 30 years younger than me. I will give her that. But still, it was impressive. And so I just kept steps. There's the other thing about the app. If you have a workout or a move that you really can't do yet, you can substitute. And there's like tons and tons of substitutions to choose from. So I just kept subbing it. And then one day, I think I was 4 months into the program, I was like, I'm just going to try one. I wonder if I can do it. And I did like 4. And I was so excited. And now, you guys, last week, I did 5 sets of 10 of them. So it's fun. And like pull-ups is another one. I'd never done a pull-up in my life. Never. And when I did them in my workouts, like, I don't know, but now I'll just say this. Now I can do 4 unassisted pull-ups. And so I'll do them at the park with my kids. Like I'll do them wherever because I'm like, I can do it.
I love it.
So it's so fun to get strong. I'm telling you, there's something about being strong that makes me so happy. It just fills my soul up.
It is super cool.
Diane had a question in the chat. Did you guys see that?
I did. Yep. So yes, Diane, we'll have to work closely together and make sure that we're just listening to your body and that we're like, yes, it is doable. We just need to be very transparent in communication.
Yeah.
I can say just the nutritional aspect of this program, Diane, you will see changes very quickly as JL and I and Kendra are able to adjust your, the meal stuff. So you'll be more aware of what that entails. We can explain that, but it will help so much. Because if that's not on point, I mean, my workouts are great, but if the meals and eating and stuff isn't where I need it to be, the results aren't there as fast. So just that alone will help a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, because everywhere I've ever been, my back has always been my main issue.
Okay. Well, we got you.
Okay, great. That sounds fantastic.
Okay. You have a nice smile, by the way.
Thank you.
Diane
You're
is
welcome.
awesome. I love her. Yeah.
Diane's great. She's
Okay. Any other questions, guys, before we wrap it up? You've been awesome. Way to participate.
Yes. Thanks for hopping on.
okay. We're going to send this recording to everybody so you can watch this again, yeah. And reach out. If you have any questions, please reach out.
Yeah. You guys all have my number, right?
And you've
Okay.
gotten emails. We've sent emails and text everybody. So
Wendy's not on. I'll reach out to her.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Awesome.
all
Thank
right,
you guys.
everybody
Nice to meet
watching
you.
the recording, if you're watching this recording, feel free to reach out as well. So
Yes.
anyway, there will be several people there's several that couldn't make it tonight. So
Yeah.
anyway, we will be excited to talk to you as well.
Okay, guys. Wonderful having you on. Have a great weekend and we'll be in touch soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, Kendra.
Yeah.